Alien Races, Existence and Evasion, the Manipulation on Earth. Sponsored by the active members of Alien UFOs in Outer and Inner Space, Euphoria, and Soul City Social Club, presented by Charlie Kundalini. Greys. They're from Cygnus Alpha star system. They're called Dows by the Andromedans. Calypsi Rye race. That's what they call themselves. And some are the tall Zeta Reticuli, which are a very interesting breed. The gray race was a race that was created by the Anunnakis. Anunnaki race. They created here's another guy with the progeria system. If you look at the size of him and look at the size of the model, you know, he's quite small. Gray progeria here.
They don't speak. They don't talk normally.
Yeah. We'll get into that. Okay. Baldness, swollen veins. Progeria is a disease that it's advanced aging. So in 10 years, you're 30 years old. Another 10 years, you're 60. It's an age of a disease of aging. Dolly the sheep.
So sorry, slow down.
Yeah.
Do rays have aging? Can they be very old too themselves?
Well, they do have a problem with cloning, right? We'll go into that. But Dolly the sheep died of progeria. She aged so quickly because obviously the chromosome that they used was already aged. Okay, no genitals, anus, nipples, or navels. Most types are unable to reproduce by sexual interaction, cannot eliminate waste via genitals, no umbilical cord, no navel. They weren't born that way. They were created in a lab with biological DNA material. There's 22 documented, but I'm sure there's hundreds of gray types. Again, tall Zeta, the Bellatrix, Orion, tall EBN, brown-orange hybrids, insectoids, turtle, reptile. The one on the right, this is the Jonathan Reed gray that he encountered. It killed his dog, and then he in turn killed it, wrapped it up, put it in his freezer. He thought it was dead. When he went to check the alien out, it was alive. You'll notice that it has staples there to keep his mouth shut, right? And those are his little eyes. This gray is turtle-dominated gray. So, turtle-dominated, right? It's got dolphin genes in, but
Have a shell, like a big
no, he doesn't have a shell, but he's turtle-dominated. Apparently, Jonathan Reed had gotten to know him very well. They became friends, and apparently this type is often seen around the world. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah?
Just to clarify, so this species cannot procreate, so they were created by another species.
Yeah.
So they were just totally made in a vat.
Exactly. But not all.
I want to make sure I'm following.
There's many types. There are some that can reproduce,
Okay.
and we'll get on to that. Here's a video. Does
it live longer because it's turtle dominated? It has longer lifespan versus the other grays?
Yeah, that I'm not sure what their lifespan is, but I know that the race deteriorates very quickly. There's a problem with, taking a chromosome. It's like making a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
They perfect it too much.
Yeah, eventually the race starts to disintegrate and have problems. Go ahead.
Are they ever happy?
Good question. Because of the way they're created, their souls aren't as valuable as our souls, so they have haphazard souls. They have a beehive mentality, so they're kind of like robots. You know, they
Human robots.
yeah they go ahead.
Okay, I apologize because I came in late, but where did they originate? I don't think it was on our planet.
Yeah.
So,
Cygnus Alpha is that's where it's usually reported. It's a planet where there's a lot of water, and that's where the whales and dolphins came from. Okay.
What she's really asking is, make this believable to us.
Well, this is information that's on reports. I mean, you could go and study and find it. I'm not going to tell you where I get the information from. You could do your when you hear it from me, go out and research it yourself as well, right? Okay.
Why were they, you said that they were created as slaves, so why were they created as slaves? What were they doing as slaves?
Oh, they were doing work for yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, we don't want to do work, so let's take this this frog, make him great and get him to work, and keep him down, right? Okay, they have two brains separated by a cranial skull, just like a dolphin. Their brain capacity is a lot larger than ours. Their system is biological crystalline nerve system. So a crystal system is more efficient and it doesn't break down as quickly as our system. They are telepathic and dolphin sonar capabilities. Because of the cloning, their genetic sequence degrades after each cloning of a clone, right? I think we went through that. Heart and lungs are operated by the same organ. That I don't understand, but that's what's reported. Heart and lungs operate by the same. I found that out in more than 3-4 reports.
That'd be more efficient because they don't have veins going into the heart.
Right.
The lungs get their oxygen right with the heart itself. Just connected. They won't need the ventricles or the
Yeah.
heart system.
So all sexual organs and their digestive tracts have been totally atrophied to nothing.
I heard that they are a lot like plants. That they get their food the way the plants do, as if they're chlorophyll based.
It's possible. There are species that do that. I know we feed off the sun as well, so there's a good chance that they do feed off of the sun. But
They probably drink water, I'm assuming.
yeah, we're gonna get into that.
Okay.
I'll tell you, but okay, cloning became their only form of reproduction. Dolphin-based greys were taken, genetically altered into an upright bipedal species capable of doing labor for the masters. Right? Their powers. Apparently they have powers. Telepathic communication, thought forms. Usually they create a thought form in their minds and they send it. And they put that thought form in your mind, and you're able to read it as a picture. Levitation, possession, they're able to go into a mind or go into a body and manipulate it. Materialize. Operate technology, but not good at creating it. So they're made to operate technology. Now, a lot of their powers are probably, I would say, technology, a lot of it.
Fala, filho da puta! Calma aí, maluco. Porra, vai chocar o bicho, cara. Aí, não falei que ele ia falar, ô? Vambora, porra.
Loud enough.
Yeah, I don't have it loud enough, but
The
that's
guy's saying, but he's talking to the guy. Hey, come on, talk. You know,
yeah.
crazy thing.
They end up laughing because
Because he says blah blah blah. He doesn't say.
well, that too, and also when he stands up, he's got a vagina. He doesn't have genitals, right? And they're like, ah! He's naked. And he's having trouble breathing too. Wait.
Put the volume up?
No, then I won't be able to get it. Okay, the race has been challenged for survival by the reproductive deficiencies. Clone copies continue to deteriorate. They were a race that were created to serve, and are continuously abused and enslaved. They feel abandoned by the Anunnaki creators who have failed or refused to upgrade their original race after being freed. So they did their work for their masters, and then the masters just left them. And they weren't built to, how do you call it? They weren't, they're not a powerful race. They're not a race that could protect themselves, so they were game. Freedom has been deprogrammed, and they've degraded to a parasitic status abroad the universe. That's their reputation across the universe.
They look down on them, right?
Yeah, they do. For that reason, it's a war-prone race, yet they're in possession of a powerful weapon, right? They know how to operate technology, but they can't make it. Gray Earth agenda, to serve the draconian reptilian masters, manipulate governments and world leaders with temptations of technology, promote environmental havoc on land, air, waters, to suffocate humanity and reclaim the earth. That's kind of a plan that might be happening. Abduct females, male humans, and animals to extract biological material used for reproduction and hybridization of a gray human species for future repopulation of the earth. Possess minds and microchip, select humans in powerful positions, and use humans as a food source for their masters and themselves. Go ahead.
Are these the guys who do the abductions?
Yeah, they're famous for abductions, this breed.
Can I ask you a question about this?
Yeah.
There's like shorter grays, and they're kind of cute, and then there's like the taller. And has your research suggested whether one is worse than the other, or?
Yeah, there are good grays and there are bad gray races. So you don't want to pinpoint the whole race that they're all bad.
Yeah, because I've heard as they get taller, they're meaner. And has that been your experience? But
Yeah.
understanding as well.
But from a lot of the experiences that I've talked to, most of the experiences weren't horrible. The abductions aren't a comfortable place or thought to be in.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're as bad as they're made out to be.
But the ones that like they put holes in people's back, like their spine, how do they do it? Like it's a bird.
Who knows? They could be taking
Genetic material.
exactly. This is the group that's in charge of alien intervention. So not even governments are allowed to communicate with them. From these locations, the Greys are able to abduct their targets with ease and less observability. They're closer to abduction sites, reducing flight time and less chance of being observed. When you look at a breed, when you look at the body, you look at the soul, those are two different things, right? The value of the breed depends on the value of the soul, and Greys have very weak souls in comparison to humans, so they just do. They don't think, they just do. If they're hurting you, they don't even know they're hurting you, they just do it. That's how they're made, right?
From your research, how long do you think they've been around on Earth?
The Greys,
Yeah.
they've been around a very, very long time.
So
Ancient history, right? They have
Maybe-
drawings in caves. Of,
Yeah.
Figures that are very similar to the Greys,
Yeah.
as well as the reptilian.
Yeah, I don't have that answer, but I would predict even before humans were made that they probably have a soul that I'm just thinking maybe like an ant, The little ships are for abductions, right? This is a classic scenario for an abduction. Once you're in, there's a gray behind you with glasses, and you're tied in the bed, and they're all around you. The ship's usually invisible. They throw a beam into the house. You can't see the beam. But once you're in the beam, then they could lift you or put you you're in a different field where your body could actually go right through a wall and reassemble itself. And this is how they take you right from your bedroom into the ship, do what they got to do, and then they drop you back with the technology of the beam out of the ship. Here's
They kill the cows.
if you just look at this video, see how the cow's just taken up, but you can't see anything? The cow just into a light and it's gone, right? Right. Now that would be usually the ship. You don't see the ship, and you don't see the tractor beam, right? Go ahead.
That moved really fast. Do they have to accelerate, or can they jump to a speed instantly?
What's that?
The ships, do they need to accelerate?
Oh yeah, no. The ships are so fast that they don't even have to be invisible. They travel so fast that they could go right across you without even cloaking themselves and miss it.
Do you know if they can hit that speed instantly, or do they have to go through?
They can get it instantly. Go ahead.
Why is it that so many abductees have no conscious recollection of their abduction?
Very good. Yeah, the memory is wiped before being released, sort of like in Batman.
But it's still there.
It's still there in the subconscious, absolutely. I mean, through hypnosis, you might recollect an abduction experience. The procedure, sleep paralysis. You're in bed, you can't move. That's a sign. They knock the air out of you. If you look at a gray and look at yourself, I mean, if you were in a physical fight, I mean, the gray doesn't stand a chance. I mean, so when they abduct us, they're terrified of our strength. I mean, we're a lot stronger than them. So they take the air out of us. Like we got no air, we're paralyzed. All right. They stare at you to activate their sonar powers from their skulls. That's how dolphins kill sharks. They experiment with you, extract DNA, ova, sperm samples. Sometimes they take you to an underground base where you see vats of humans and hybrids and monsters. I know. And then the microchip. Usually when they take you, they leave you with a microchip so that they can monitor you. The microchip.
I heard that the microchip is not, if you do like a CAT scan or an X-ray, you cannot, a lot of times you cannot see it through an X-ray or a CAT scan.
Yeah.
And your body doesn't reject it. It like pretty much becomes part of your body. So like it's really hard to know that it's there.
Exactly.
Okay, so I have one question. So if they wipe your memory clean, is it possible there are people who have been abducted and have like they have no idea? They have no idea, and they live, for years not knowing that they have been abducted,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
there are
absolutely.
no signs, and they just, go on living, never knowing that they've been abducted.
Sure. I mean, I have a feeling that in some way or another, we're all abducted, but not abducted in the sense that somebody has taken us, but a part of us. When you're sleeping, who knows? I mean, we're not just body, we're not just what we perceive ourselves to be. There's more to us. So they could take a part of you, even though your body's there, do something with it, and then throw it back to you. Go ahead.
So the abductions, are they happening in third dimension, or are they happening in interdimensional, like fourth dimension, or like astral?
Yeah, of course. There's fourth dimensional sciences, fifth dimensional, and sixth dimensional sciences. And I think you were talking about that. On a fourth dimensional science, a TV won't work. This won't work. A motor engine won't work. Satellites won't work. Fifth dimension, it's a different technology altogether, right?
So the physics are different.
Yeah, exactly. And this is how they put you in a fourth dimensional state or fifth dimensional state to take you out of your apartment. Go ahead.
Have they ever been known to show signs of fear and anxiety?
Yeah, of course. Of course. They're just as afraid as we are of them. Absolutely. Go ahead.
You were about to say something about microchips before.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. The microchips, usually they put them behind your left ear. It's usually a little kind of it feels like a little crystal. I don't know if you ever woken up and felt a crystal in your left ear. Go ahead.
I've heard of people finding microchips, but not what you mentioned, but like in their arm or leg or something.
Sure.
And they cannot, like the doctors cannot remove them.
Yeah, they're very difficult to remove because they, when you go near it, they push away. It's like they have a repelling magnetic attribute to them. And yeah, the microchip. And also, they put them. Hold on a sec. We're behind left ear, up the nose. You know, nosebleeds. Some of them are right. Sinus problems, nosebleeds, and headaches. There you go. Very good one. And also too, when they have difficulty in putting a microchip in you, you know what they do? They pull your eyeball out, put the microchip in, and put your eyeball back in. That's another spot, right in your eyeball. And then they wipe, your memory's wiped before they release you.